Hello everyone, and welcome back to the channel. Today's video is going to be a little bit different. I'm going to be doing a quick tutorial video on how I build this M2 Browning. This will be more like unedited footage of me just building it, and you can follow along. Anyways, let's get started. So first of all, we're going to select the metal block. I typically use metal when building. We're going to start with the bottom area, and that'll be about 0.4 studs wide and 2.6 long. Yep, that's right. And then after that, we can go to this part here. That is 0.5 wide, so we'll set scale to 0.05. Scale that all the way up. 1 in, 1.3 long, and 0.5. Anyways, now we can move to this little circle here. This is a 0.2 stud circle, and that is, let me see, that is 0.35 away from the end here. So what we'll do is we'll just get that scale, we'll do 0.4 and then scale back to here, and now we have that. It's halfway in, so we'll scale 0.1 into the block we just placed earlier. And so with the 0.2 circle, this is how I build small circles like this. You just kind of rotate twice with 15-degree rotation, then select the first block, and then since it's 2, you do it 4 times, so 1, 2, 3, 4, and then do that one more time. And there we go. Now, for a 0.2 circle, set scale to 0.07, and then just scale on the sides, just like this. Takes a second, but that's just kind of how circles are. And then with the move tool, you can just kind of move it back in. Oh, missed it there. Anyways, so now we have that spot. Now we can get to this part here, and that is, okay, that is 0.4 from the bottom of that block. That was about 0.1 in length, so that should be right. And then you can get this block, and that is 0.3. Scale 0.1 down into this block here, and scale to the very end. And that was 1.4. So like that, 0.3 tall, scaled like that. Then look at the top cover here, that is square, 0.1 in height. Right there, like that. We'll scale on the sides. Then it gets a bit wider, kind of by where it would normally open up. So that is 0.2 away from the end, 0.5 wide, and 0.1 tall. So 0.2 away, I believe it was 2.4. Yep. And then we can set scale to 0.75 to scale it in from the sides. There we go. We have the top there. And then, I believe this area is slightly wider. I think that is 0.05 away from the part we just built. So, like that. And then, that is 0.4 long. Scale the sides in, that's 0.5 out on both sides from the other one, so 0.6 studs wide, if I can get it into place there. Now I've got that part done. This part, 0.35 in height, and that's 0.5 above that one block back there. So, that's right there. It is 1.9, so that's 0.6 studs away from this back stud, or this back part here. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Then we can scale it back here too. 1.9. Scale to 0.4 thick, or 0.4 wide. And there we go. Now we'll get this back part here. That is, okay, 0.3 tall from there. And then we scaled it here. Goes to the very back of the gun, and that was 0.2 long. Alright, so now we got that back part. We can move on to the charging handle now. That is 0.2. And that is 0.05 scaled into the block in front of it. So we can just scale that into place. I believe it's sticking out by 0.05. It is. And then we get the other part of the handle. That is also 0.2 tall, but I believe that is 0.06 wide, so it's sticking out by 0.03 from the front of this block, so we'll scale that. And then we can set scale to 0.04 for here to get scale 0.06. Scale that up into place, and that is 0.2 tall. And I believe we can also scale back so it doesn't fall off. Then we have this wooden charging handle here, and that is 0.6 out to the right. And just select wood for that. Scaled into place. I think that's a little off there. We can't place it on this block because the scale is set to 0.35. So if we place it there, it's a bit tricky to explain, but the scale will be off. It'll be offset by like 0.005, which we don't want. We want just perfect accuracy to the real model we're building this off of. So we can just scale the charging handle like that, and I believe that is perfectly in place. Looks right to me. Anyways, we can now get this sort of circle thing at the back. This is the same. It's the same 0.2 circle. I believe that was. Yes, that was 0.2 studs. Remember to reselect metal. So 0.2 studs, and make sure you're placing it on the right block. Into here, and then 0.6 long. And then we'll do it from the top. Actually, I'll have to place it on here. That is 0.2 from the top. So 0.1, 0.2, then we scaled up from here, get it to 0.2, and then we do the same circle building method. So scale up 30 degrees, and select the other one, move it back, do it 4 times, another 1, 2, 3, 4, and set scale to 0.07. Scaled in from the sides here. Just make sure you get every part. Sometimes it can kind of glitch out, and you got to pay attention to that. It's that the circle doesn't have like a protrusion, because sometimes you'll scale it, but then it won't kind of register as being scaled. So you do have to worry about that. So just make sure that doesn't happen. Keep an eye out for it. Now for this block, that is about 0.2 away from the top. So I think that is a bit off there. So 0.01, 0.02, and then that was 0.05 in height, which is the smallest in height you can make a block. So this block will be scaled 0.02 into the gun, and it is 0.58 in width. So we'll have to get that. We set scale to 0.71 for that, I think. Yep, that's right. Seems DeCourtio is here. I'm assuming that's how you pronounce it. But we gotta continue with the tutorial. So that's 0.08 in width for the parts sticking out and going back. So set scale to 0.01 for that, and then just be careful, scale it into place slowly, just take your time. Fox Frost is here too. Just make sure it's right on the spot, and then we can just kind of move that with the move tool to the other side. So set move to probably 0.02. One more. There we go. It's moved into place. And I actually think we have to scale that out a bit further. Yes, 0.05 further. So we'll just get that quickly. And we'll see how far away the other spot is. If that is, I have to set scale to 0.01, 0.46, add another 0.05 for that, and that's 0.51 that you can use the move tool to duplicate it down to, and that should be right. Yep. Now, from here, we'll get the handle, and I think that is 0.3 or 0.03 with wood blocks too, scaled into here, into the metal handle part. So 1, 2, 3, and it is 0.1 in length and width, so we can just scale it in these directions. It is also 0.02 taller than this metal part here, and I believe it is 0.6 in height. Yep, that is correct. So now we just move that over here to the other side, and I think that's perfect there. Now we got the handle done. Now we just need to get the barrel right here and the sights. So the barrel, that is a 0.4 circle. 0.4 circles are the smallest circles you can make with 15-degree rotation. So luckily it'll look pretty smooth. So I also believe we scale this 0.1 back into the gun, and it is 1.2 long. So for this, what we're going to do is we're going to actually just place a block here, just kind of scale it out, 0.6 or 6 studs out, and then we'll take this and we'll just scale the sides in from here. And for 0.4 circle, it's 0.17. So then we scale it in, select it, duplicate it outwards, and then rotate it, move it back, and then you keep repeating this until the circle is done. This is how I do circles most of the time. It's a fairly simple method, and probably one of the quickest. So then, once you've got 4 parts of this circle here selected, don't select any more, because you won't need any more. There are 12 parts in the circle that isn't hollow. So 1, 2, 3, 4. Move that back in, delete this stuff, and we have the first part of the barrel. Then the second part, which is 0.3 circle, which means we have to make it with 30-degree rotation. So that's 0.8, but we'll scale it 0.1 back into the bigger circle, which is that it won't fall off for some reason. Scaled in by 0.85, and that's how you get a 0.3 circle. Then we will set move tool to 0.9, and we'll just do the simpler circle method for this. So, just kind of same thing we've done before for the other two circles, but those ones were a bit smaller. So for this one, it is 0.11 that you scale the sides in by. So just scale all those sides in. Make sure you do it right. Then set scale back to whatever you want, and use move tool to move the stuff back into place. And so now we have the smallest part of the barrel, which is another 0.2 circle. So what we're gonna do here is actually kind of lazy, but lazy is also efficient. So that's 0.2 in to the other part that we just placed. So we'll just take this circle we've already built, 1.2. I believe we need to scale that, or move that down by 0.05. Yep. And then set scale to 2.2, and just scale each part outwards like this. And then, once we get that last part here, barrel's done, and now, as you can see, it's starting to look like a 50 cal. All that's left, excluding the ammo box, is the sights. So, we'll get to that. The sights are right on the end there. These will be a bit tricky because they are much more small scaled than the rest of the things already are. So that's 0.1 long, 0.2, that's 0.05 scaled into here. Then we have to measure the width. So that is 0.2 wide. So for this we'll just do 0.9 scaled into 0.2 in width. Now, because this is not just one block for the sights, what we have to do is just use the move tool, or set it to 0.2, and just get 3 versions of that. And for each one, set scale to 0.05, scale that one up, scale that one to the left, and scale that one to the right. Move them back, and we have a hole there. And of course, there's a little block that goes there, and that is 0.06. Let's see how far away it is. Okay, 0.1 tall. So what we can do for that is just kind of scale it all the way down here, then 0.2 down, 0.97 to scale it in to get it to 0.06. We kind of can't do it here because it's not perfectly centered with that block. But we can just use smaller scale for that. And there we go, we got the front iron sight. Now we just have to get to the back one. This one is 0.02 above the rest of the gun. 0.1 away from the back there. So get that first. And then we will scale it down. Make sure to scale it 0.2 above. And that will be 0.6 long. Let's get that. And 0.2 wide. So we'll just use 0.9 scale. And then we'll measure how tall it is with 0.05 scale. 0.1. Alright. It's also 0.15 away from the back of the block, right there. So 3 scales of 0.05. It is 0.3 long, 0.1 tall, yep. But we can also just scale that another 0.1 down into it so that it stays in place, doesn't fall off with some sort of glitch. And there we go. We have the iron sights. And I won't do the ammo box for this video since you can kind of customize that however you want, but there are these little blocks here that we need to get. And those are pretty simple, they just go on the ends of each part by the, I don't know what you call that. Just where the bullets go into, I guess. I'm not overly familiar with the specific words for that. And just duplicate that. Alright, and there we go. The 50 cal itself is done, now we can just paint it. You can copy the paint I have here. Hue 88, saturation 6, and value 25. So pretty much all the metal parts we'll paint with that, and we'll paint all the wood parts a bit different. So just kinda move your mouse all around the place. Make sure you get everything. And almost done. Alright, now to get the wood, we don't want it looking too bright, so take this color, hue 7, saturation 50, and value 30. So we'll just quickly paint the 3 wooden parts, and there you go. You have your own 50 cal, and this is very useful because it can be used between a lot of different builds. I can't even count how many times I've used this between a lot of my builds. So yeah, I hope you found this video helpful, and you can use this on whichever builds you want to, probably American ones. I don't know why to put a M2 Browning on something that isn't American. Anyways, that's pretty much all I've got to say, so thanks for watching, and see you all later.